This day, 231 years ago, French revolutionary writer Jean-Paul Marat was assassinated by Charlotte Corday. Charlotte Corday was born into a minor aristocratic family in France, and she was a supporter of the Girondins, who were a political group in favor of secularism and democratic reforms. They also had a somewhat aggressive military goal of conquering foreign lands. And Jean-Paul Marat was a leader of the rather radical Montagnard faction. They were primarily made of the middle class, the bourgeoisie, the sans-culottes. Marat published various pamphlets during the French Revolution and became a large voice of influence. He also voiced his support for getting rid of the royal family and claimed that the aristocracy would destroy the revolution. In one instance, he stated, quote, 500 or 600 heads cut off would have assured your repose, freedom, and happiness. A false humanity has held your arms and suspended your blows. Because of this, millions of your brothers will lose their lives. He also openly called out the National Assembly for not doing more to get rid of the king. He's also attributed to have responsibility for the September massacres, which would eventually lead to why Charlotte Corday would take action against him. Corday was worried that Marat's radicalism would eventually lead to civil war and unnecessary violence. So she traveled to Paris and purchased a 15-centimeter kitchen knife. She originally wanted to attack him in front of the entire National Assembly to make an example out of him, but Marat was actually no longer attending these assemblies in public because he was suffering from a debilitating skin condition. Corday then changed her course of action. She went to Marat's home on the 13th of July and claimed that she had information about the Girondins. Originally, she wasn't permitted entry, but she returned in the evening and Marat invited her in. At this point in his life, Marat was regularly soaking in tubs in order to find relief from the pain that his skin condition was causing him. So she met Marat in his bathing room and then gave him the names of various Girondins. As he assembled a list of these names, she withdrew her kitchen knife and stabbed him in the chest. But Marat managed to cry out for help, and his fiancée's sister and a newspaper distributor came in and restrained Corday, and she nearly became victim to an angry mob. Corday would eventually be sentenced to death and executed via guillotine. Marat's murder was eventually immortalized by artist Jacques-Louis David, where you can see Marat holding the names and the blood-soaked linens in the bath.